Hi, Lucy. John here. I'm using my phone. I hope that the quality shows up on this because the computer was giving me all kinds of problems. So I'm gonna give it a shot here. I've done this warm up now 5 times myself, so my arm is really loose and limber. I'm ready to show you the couple warm ups that I've really liked over the years. So basically, first I'm going to use my first and second fingers on these two frets, and I'm going to do what's called a hammer on and then a pull off. That means I'm going to strike the string. Then I'm going to strike my finger down on it to change the pitch and take it right back off. So I'm going to get 3 pitches with 1 pluck, right? Then I'm going to move to the next string and I'm going to go 2, 1, 2. Let's just do those first couple moves a couple times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now it's sometimes hard to reach all the way to these low strings, so let's come up here to the D string in case that was difficult. If you notice, here I start with this finger, so this one's not doing anything until I strike, right? But here I have to start with this finger down, so I need this finger positioned, right? So I strike through it, open up, and then I'm going to move to the next string. Once you're good at it, I realize it's not very tuneful, but I promise it's really effective at tuning up your hands. I'm going to go all the way through all 6 strings and then back down again. Now I'm going to use my second and third fingers to do basically the same thing on the second and third frets. And again, if those first 2 strings are too low or too far up on this side of the neck to try, start here on the D string. We're going to go 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Do that a few times until it feels pretty good. You want to listen to your hammer on and your pull off to make sure both sound nice and true. And a pull off can be thought of not just as passively taking your finger off, but as kind of actively snapping your finger off. See what I mean? It's kind of like bouncing on a diving board. So then you're going to go. So the whole thing on the second and third fret sounds like. I'm sure you know what's happening next, and this is pretty tricky. So I would say let's start here on the D string. Fingers 3 and 4 are obviously the weakest ones. So if we have to go very slow, we should, right? I know that these longer reaches would be difficult, but you build up to it, right? After you've done it a few times, you can practically do anything. You can put your pinky right through drywall. Yeah. It's my jam, sorta. And since I've done it 5 times today already, I'm in amazing shape. Now the next warm-up that I'm going to do is a little bit more musically useful, as in something you could actually do in a passage if you needed to. I'm sure you're very familiar with chromatic scales on the piano. Chromatic scales on the guitar are the same idea, but of course different technique because guitar. So here we're going to start. I'm going to start on A, which is the 5th fret on the low string. If it's hard to reach this low, always just move up to the next one. But the thing I want to talk about specifically is as I move to the next note, here I've got A, B flat, B, C. I have to shift my hand back to the next fret back, the next fret towards the headstock. So here's C sharp, the 4th fret, right? C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Is that right? Yeah, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. And then I'm going to move over here. This is F, right here, the 3rd fret of the D string. That might be a good place for us to start, okay? I'll show you the rest of it, what I just went through again, after we get the higher 4 strings. So let's do that again, starting on the D string with the 4th fret. D, E flat, E, or no, I'm sorry, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, E flat, B, C. Let's do that again. Actually, that's kind of fun. Notice that little shift back, right? 3, fret 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now moving from the G string to the B string, I'm going to stay in the same fret set because remember the interval between all the rest of the strings is a fourth. The interval between the G and the B is a third, a little narrower. So we lose that fret. So here I am on the second fret of the G string. That's an A. A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Right? And then after I'm here at E, I'm going to shift back to F over here at the first fret. The main thing that you just need to know is that you don't shift between the G and the B string. You stay in the same set. And between all the other strings, you shift a fret towards the headstock as you go up and a fret away from the headstock as you come back down. Right? So here I'm going to show you from the D string. Okay, now back down. If I keep going, see that? So I'm going to start from the A on the low string. Now, obviously, that's a little move that I didn't talk about, but it's pretty simple. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's kind of good to practice doing something like this because eventually you'll do it all the time. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2. So there you go. There's 4 octaves of chromatic scale. I could do it all over again, but I think that the point here is for you to do it. Okay, so that's a thing that I wanted to talk about. Those 2 warm-ups on the guitar. Next, I thought it might be a good idea. Sorry, I got so close to the phone there for a second. I thought it might be a good idea to talk about something on the piano that takes some practice that I don't have to show you any music for and that I don't have to show you my hands for. Something that you can do without looking at anything. It basically is an intention game to see if you can hit a key that's remote from the middle of the keyboard without looking at it. I did it again. Look at that. Oops. So the way that I do this, I pick a key. I'm going to go with low C, okay? I like low C. It's a good one. What I'll do is I'll put my hand in the middle of the keyboard. Then I'll reach down. I'll look at it. I'll hit C. I'll go back to the middle of the keyboard. I'll look at it. I'll use my eyes with my finger and keep on hitting it. And then I'll try without looking. And then I'll look some more, right? Now I'll put a chord up here and see if I can do it consistently. And you know what? Now's a good time for you to just pause this video and try for a little minute, maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, just looking at the note. Like pick a note. It doesn't have to be C, but C is the one that I've been hitting here just for a second. And see if you can feel the magnet in your finger. As you look, use your eyes and your finger and really pay attention to your like spatiotemporal positioning, right? And feel how your finger gets attracted to that key again and again. And then try to do it without looking. Now I like a C7 chord myself, like a G, B flat, C, E sort of thing. Now, I hit more often than I don't. That's true. And I'll try to pick another note, like oftentimes the fifth of whatever note I've been working on. That's an F. There's a G. I've noticed that my ears gotten sharper as I've done these sorts of things, where I'm trying to let my fingers and my ears do the work and let my eyes kind of wander. That's a G that I keep hitting, except that time. Now back to C. Aha! I'm going to try for A, okay? So I'm going to look at A, I'm going to hit A. look at it, and each time I hit it, I move my hand back into the middle of the keyboard. And I reach down and I hit it again. Oh, there it was. There it is. There it is. This is a great idea. It's something that I didn't try to start building until, a few years ago, probably because I didn't have a piano for a long time. But it's an excellent idea to start building that sort of, I know where that key is. I know where that key is with your pinky, right? So I think of my hands as my hands as being like little squadrons, like little teams, right? And it does seem to me that your pinkies on both sides of your hands are your sharpshooters, right? And I haven't done nearly as much of this practice with my right hand. Probably because your right hand doesn't have as many long leaps as the left hand as consistently, right? So the left hand has some of those stride piano kind of moments, and I've been trying to work on some New Orleans music lately that has a lot of stride passages. So I've been noticing that's what I've been practicing a lot. Oops. And when I saw that I needed to teach you a video lesson, I thought, well, what's useful to talk about? I figured one thing that's useful to talk about is what I've been doing with myself. So give yourself a little sharpshooter practice and try to not use your eyes, okay? It's been nice chatting at you through the video. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year. Okay, talk to you later.